I mean, it's on another level. It's like you take your waffle game way up.
Yeah, it was delicious.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Brad, and with me, as always, is John, and this is Race Car Spelled Backwards Gen 2, episode 93. John, what's up, man?
What's up?
Glad to have you back again.
I think you're going to have to find a new saying.
Yeah, I know. Now you're full-time, so.
Yeah. Shocker.
Shocker. Surprise, surprise, John is full-time. No, episode 93, we're glad to be here, coming off a trout fishing weekend.
Yep.
Spent a few days up in North Georgia mountains doing some trout fishing.
Mm-hmm. It was a good weekend.
I say we were pretty successful with our catches.
Yeah. What did we catch? Like 16, 17?
Something like that total. I mean, counting the ones my dad caught, we're probably in the 20s.
Yeah.
So I know we caught 12 or 13 the first night, and then I'm like 4 or 5 the second night. So we had a good time. Yep. John wins.
Mm-hmm. I caught the bigger trout.
Yeah, I don't know how he does it. I mean, it's like I was rolling them in right and left. Then all of a sudden he pulls one and it's like 6 inches bigger. And then I catch a couple more and then he pulls in another large one. It's like quantity over quality or quality over quantity. And I think
I got to go quality every time.
I have to agree with you. I mean, as much as I hate to agree because I lost. And since I lost, I had to pay for Waffle House.
Yep.
And speaking of Waffle House, I'm just going to throw this out there. If you like Waffle House and you like waffles, there's another level to your waffle you've probably never heard of.
Not sponsored, by the way.
Yeah, definitely not sponsored. I wish they were. If Waffle House, if you're listening,
open to it.
We are definitely open. And you can pay us in waffles.
Yeah.
We'll take Waffle House gift cards as payment even. But there's this thing called heated and treated. So they cook your waffle, he smothers it in butter, and then they throw it on the grill on both sides and then serve it to you. Mm-hmm. So they cook the butter into the waffle. It's called heated and treated. I mean, it's on another level. It's like you take your waffle game way up.
Yeah, it was delicious.
I mean, we were hungry, so it wasn't going to be hard to be really good, but that was gourmet Waffle House, if you can even say such a thing.
And gourmet for Waffle House.
Yeah, it was extremely good. Luckily, we went to that particular Waffle House too, and the cook hooked us up. Like it was just me, John, the cook, and the waitress, and we were just talking back and forth. They had run out of butter, like the little butter packets.
Yeah. So
he was going to slop some of his big container butter, and he's like, "If you ever had it heated and treated?" I was like, "Never even heard of it." He goes, "Oh, I got you."
Yeah.
And he was even going to make us new waffles if we didn't like it. But no, we loved it. It was great. So thank God we went to that Waffle House because we've now been introduced to the best waffle you could possibly have.
It was 10 out of 10.
Oh, yeah. What other excitement do we have while we were fishing there, John?
Well, we had Beat Bop.
Oh, yeah. Can't forget Beat Bopper. We had this guy come beat bopping up on us.
So we were following the stocking truck. Yeah. We were fishing at a different creek, and we decided, well, let's go to this other creek. And as we pull in right behind the stocking truck. So this is perfect. So we follow the stocking truck up the mountain, and as we watch him stock this one hole, we're like, okay, well, we'll hop out here and fish here. And as we're getting out of the car, this guy.
He was tweaked out on something. He was definitely on a stimulant drug.
With his belt in one hand and holding his pants up with the other.
His pants were like at least 10 sizes too big.
You could have fit 3 of them in those pants.
He come running up.
He needed a belt.
Had the belt in the air too. He's like, "Y'all gonna kill them, boys? Kill them! Kill them fish! Kill them!" I'm like, dude, I've never heard anybody go, "We're going fishing today. I hope we kill a few."
You know, in hindsight, the rest of the story might make a little bit more sense.
Yeah, it definitely. So then that was on Friday morning.
Mm-hmm.
By Friday afternoon, we done caught our limit. we're getting ready to head back to the campground because we were not camped on this particular creek.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, DNR, 2 Georgia State Patrol, and 2 sheriff's departments just come zooming by. Says, zoom, zoom, zoom. Come to find out, old boy down there, old bebopper, as we called him, apparently he had hit his girlfriend or something a few times. She's down there at the corner store getting arrested for whatever she was up to. She calls the cops on him. She tells them he's got a gun. Mm-hmm. So of course they're gonna roll up on him with their ARs pulled because they don't know what to expect.
Yep.
We met this other guy fishing, and they pulled into his campground, and he said, "Whoa, wait a minute, guys! I know who you're looking for." He said, about that time, here comes old boy bebopping down the road. They drew their ARs, and he flopped like a fish to the ground, and they arrested him for, what did he get arrested for?
Like 2 charges of battery and assault.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
So it was crazy. I mean, when we saw him go by, I said, "Oh, they're going after Bebopper. There's no way."
Yeah.
Like we knew exactly who they were going after.
There was no questions.
I mean, he was out there. Oh, yeah. Seemed like a nice enough guy. Like, I thought nothing of it. Seemed like an okay guy, except for the fact that he was tweaked out of his mind. I mean, I wasn't trying to be his friend.
Right.
But he didn't mess with us or anything like that. So he's in jail now. They didn't set a bond. Last I heard, he was probably going to be there for a minute. But, you know.
That's how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, it's like real life cops. Or those game warden TV shows you see. Like, they're going to have to make a Georgia game warden show. I mean,
yeah, because apparently they got tweakers in the woods all over the place.
Yeah, who would have known? I mean, I grew up as a kid going to the same creek fishing, and I don't ever remember tweakers running around. But, hey, times have changed, right?
Free camping. That's where they go.
Yeah, we don't stay in the free camping spots, but for that reason there. So, coming off of Texas race weekend, was Texas a good race? Chase Elliott won Texas on the Jeff Gluck poll. I voted both no and yes. I do have 2 Twitter accounts. Got my Dell 406 account and then the @CarBackwards account for the show. I was torn on was it a good race. So I voted yes and no. 73% of you said yes, it was a good race. 27% of you voted no, making this the first time ever the poll for Texas has been 70% or more.
Thanks, Denny. We appreciate it.
Oh, it's all Denny and Chase.
Yep.
If Denny would have won that race, there's no way it would have been over 70%.
If Denny would have won that race, it would probably be in the 40s. If Denny would have wrecked Chase to win that race, put it down to the 30s.
I think if Denny wrecked Chase to win that race, it would have flip-flopped. 27 yes, 73 no.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I'm still torn on. It was an exciting race, but was it a good race?
I don't think it was a good race. Me personally.
Yeah.
I didn't enjoy it.
Not as much?
No. There's something about... So, the argument is it was exciting because of all the cautions.
Correct.
But when the cautions are caused because they get out of line, okay. That's kind of, that's how we're going to get our cautions because they try to pass somebody in the high line, on a super speedway or on an intermediate track.
I hear you. I mean, we'll dive into it here in a minute, but I hear you. That's why I voted no and yes. It's just, I'm torn. So, What about the coverage? How was the TV coverage? What'd you think?
Better.
Yeah, I give them a D- for the overall weekend. I mean, the truck booth, not my favorite combination. And one race, in my opinion, or one weekend's worth of racing doesn't earn you an A+, but coming from an F- last week to a D-, that's a whole grade up.
Yeah. You're doing something right.
Yeah, they're going in the right direction, right?
So let's keep going in this direction,
Correct.
Fox.
They didn't zoom in as close this weekend. I was able to see 3 and 4 cars at one time. I will say this. When the guy crosses the finish line to win the race.
You probably should show that.
Yeah. Well, show that and then show the rest of the cars finishing. When Kyle won the truck race, they just followed Kyle, slowing down.
Yeah.
We didn't see anybody else finish the race. What if something would have happened? I mean, we don't know if nothing happened or not because they didn't show it. So they've got room to grow. That's all I'm saying.
But we are going in the right direction.
Yeah. Other news on the TV stuff, while we're talking about TV coverage, NBC apparently has sold off their rights to the Xfinity series for the last 8 races of the season.
Mm-hmm.
So the CW can get a head start on broadcasting the Xfinity series. They're going to use the NBC guys, apparently. But it's only going to be on the CW instead of NBC. So NBC wants to get that college football money on Saturdays, not that Xfinity change.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense.
Business.
Yeah.
It's business.
College football is huge here in the Southeast.
Right.
I know in the Northeast it's not, but I don't know about the rest of the country. But in the Southeast,
it's massive.
It's life.
It is.
Like Nick Saban could run for president in the state of Alabama and win, hands down. And that's not just in this election. That's in any election ever in the last 10 years. Even though Saban's not coaching anymore, he could still run for president and win.
Yep.
In Alabama. He should run for governor. I mean, Grandma Kay, she's not going to live forever.
Right. I mean, he's about up there at the right age for it.
He's almost 80, so that's perfect age. That's an elected official age. You have wisdom at that age, right? At least
experience.
That's the hope. I don't know if college football translates into politics, but hey, what do I know?
He can win a championship.
He won a bunch of them, apparently.
Yeah.
I know, because as a Georgia fan, I've lost a lot of games to that man. He's broke my heart many times. He ruined a whole year for me, actually. That stupid Walmart wanted to play that stupid Tua pass over and over. Ugh. Still gives me the creeps. All right, so before we dig into this Texas race, let's talk about a great historic race from Texas. The date was April 2nd. The year was 2000. The location was Fort Worth, Texas. It was a beautiful sunny day at Texas Motor Speedway. Just 2 years prior, Dale Jr. had earned his first Xfinity Series win at Texas Motor Speedway. But on this beautiful, glorious day in April, history was written when Dale Jr. led 106 of the 334 laps to edge out Jeff Burton to win his first career victory cup race. You know, that was just his 12th start.
I know. I mean, he's killing it for a rookie.
Took his dad 16 cup starts to get his first win at Bristol in 1979.
Yeah.
But Junior did it in 12 starts in 2000.
Junior was coming hot in the Cup Series.
I mean, Dale Jr. had been dealing with the flu that whole week. But as any race car driver will tell you, a good car cures all illnesses. And Dale said that Yuri and the boys had put together a great car back at the shop, and they were fast. I mean,
he was fast.
I remember this race. I was in high school at the time, but I remember watching Dale Jr. win his first victory. I mean, you almost knew it when you watched it on TV. There was something magical and special about that day. I mean, it was Dale Jr.'s first win. It was Adam Petty, fourth generation NASCAR driver. It was his first NASCAR Cup start. And then watching Dale Sr., when Junior won that race, I mean, I watched the replay of it today, and I still get emotional. Like, Dale Sr. leaning in that car, hugging his son, yanking people out of the way to get to the car, first off. Hugging his son. Then Junior's celebrating on top of the car, and Dale rips him off the top of the car to hug him, throwing people out of the way. I mean, it was just rare to see the Intimidator, the man in black, be vulnerable and be a daddy. It was just, like I said, here we are in 2024, and I still get emotional watching Dale Jr. get his first victory and the way his dad reacted.
I mean, it was beautiful. It really was.
Yeah, like I said, that beautiful, glorious day.
Yep.
April 2nd, 2000. So, John, have you seen these amazing hand-drawn custom racing stickers that Sydney makes?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you got them all lined up right here. They look great.
Did you also know that she does other kind of custom work?
Really?
Yeah, if you need a custom logo, custom T-shirt, or even custom stickers like the one Janet got me and Jamie, then Designs by Sydney's for you. Not only does she do amazing work, but who doesn't want to support a small business with an owner who actually cares about her customers and cares about designing quality work each and every time?
I mean, I agree. Quality, can't beat it.
Exactly. So, if you need some custom work done or want some custom stickers or want some racing stickers, head over to designbysydneys.com now and get your custom stickers. Plus, she's a big fan of the show. Who doesn't love that?
Exactly.
So
I know we do.
Oh, definitely. So, Sydney, thank you for everything you do for this show. Like I said, Designs by Sydney. Make sure you check her out, guys. She does great work.
Yep. We love your stickers.
Thanks, Sydney. All right, let's jump into the news and racing discussions for the week.
Yep.
So, Cars Tour race this weekend.
It was a good race.
What were your thoughts on Bobby McCarthy's victory at the Cars Tour race at New River Speedway?
I mean, he was racing strong all night.
Yeah, he looked good, didn't he?
He did.
I mean, I love, there's just something about late model stocks that I love. It was Dale Jr.'s debut performance. He finished 14th, and he kind of got into a little incident with Landon Huffman there in the middle of the race.
Yeah.
What's funny about that is, if you notice, the sponsor for Landon Huffman's car is High Rock Vodka, which is Dale Jr.'s vodka.
Really?
Yeah. So it's like he wrecked his own car.
That's funny.
No, Dale Jr. started in the back of the field and kind of worked his way up all day. We've said it on here before. Dale Jr. is really good at saving his equipment. He saves his tires. He stays out of trouble. Granted, I watched the wreck. Him and Landon Huffman posted something on X about Dale Jr. wrecking him. So I've watched the replay a few times. I don't think Dale wrecked him unless there's something we didn't see.
Yeah.
But it looked like Landon Huffman, they were running 3 wide. Landon went high, left the door open. What's the guy to do?
Right. I mean,
take the spot, right?
Yeah.
Dale goes in there. Huffman comes down across the front end of his car. Dale gets some damage. Landon spins out. Landon comes down pit road, essentially ending his night for the most part. Yeah. It kind of ended Dale's night too. Dale ended up finishing 14th, but
still not bad.
No, I think he would have probably got a top 10 out of it. And I think Dale's going to win one of these Cars Tours races.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen him race.
Yeah, he does a good job. He does a really good job for a 50-year-old.
Yeah, I know. We saw him North Wilkesboro. He finished like 3rd in that race or something like that. No, he did finish 3rd.
Yeah.
Because I remember everyone holding up number 3.
Yep. He finished 3rd, and Carson Quaffle won the race.
Yeah.
So it was like a doubleheader there for the junior motorsports guys.
Yeah.
So it's always great to see Dale in a car. I mean,
yeah.
I don't really care if he finishes dead last. I mean, obviously nobody does because the crowd was.
Oh yeah.
They had to turn people away. There's about 15,000 people, which is max capacity for New River Speedway. They were turning people away, had to lock the gates, and there's still people in the parking lot cheering for Dale. They didn't leave. They're not going anywhere. So, you want to sell out your event, figure out how to get Dale Jr. to race in it.
Yeah, you will sell it out every time.
That's what they need to figure out how to get Dale Jr. in the All-Star race this year.
Yeah.
I mean,
the All-Star race needs it.
Oh, bad. Especially really with the Smith repave going on.
Whew.
They might need more than Dale Jr. But Dale Jr. might be able to overcome the crappy repave. Who knows? So what did you think about Kyle Busch's dominant performance in the Truck Series race at Texas?
That's about typical for Kyle Busch in a truck.
I mean,
Kyle Busch in a truck, it's hard to beat him.
He edged out Corey Heim, Eckes, and Sanchez.
Eckes was great. I mean, all those guys, Corey Heim, Eckes, Sanchez, they all. I think, you look at the stats and you see, okay, Kyle Busch dominated the race. It was still a very competitive race.
Yeah, I don't even think Kyle Busch had the fastest truck.
Yeah.
I think Eckes probably had Eckes or Sanchez probably had the fastest truck.
Yeah.
And all those late race cautions, it made it
a close race.
It made Kyle work hard to get that victory.
Yeah, he didn't just cruise out up front and dominate the whole race.
No, nothing was given to Kyle this time. I mean, he did lead a lot of laps. It reminded me of the old Kyle. Like, that's not the Sunday Kyle. This is the Kyle Busch we've all come to love, is the Truck Series Kyle, who goes out, dominates, runs strong, and finishes well. Unlike his Cup Series stuff. But I think that's got more to do with Pop than it does Kyle.
Yeah.
So, how in the world did that Xfinity race come down to a nail-biting 0.002 second finish between Sam Mayer and Ryan Sieg?
Mayer was catching him. I mean, it's like 7 to go. Mayer just hundredths of a second. every time, every lap. He's cutting it down every lap.
Do you think Ryan Sieg was going to win it?
I wanted him to.
I did too.
I wanted him to win it, but man, you knew Mayer was coming for him though.
Mayer was hungry.
He was.
And I mean, sentimental here. I'm a junior motorsports guy. So you had Sam Mayer, Justin Allgaier, and Sammy Smith, all three finished in the top 10. Yeah. Sam Mayer won the race. I struggle to pull against junior motorsports ever.
Yeah.
But I think Ryan Sieg should have wrecked him.
He tried.
I mean, the only thing, I don't think he tried. He wanted to run him clean. For one, Ryan Sieg owns that car, so any damage you do,
right,
he's got to pay for it. I don't know what the purse for winning is and the purse for second is. I don't know the difference. I don't know if it equals a new car.
Right.
And if it does equal a new car, you just waste all the winnings building a new car because you wrecked your car.
Right.
So I don't know if it outweighs each other, reward versus risk. I don't know if it outweighs each other, but I think he should have wrecked him. I mean, it's your first Xfinity win. How do you not just put him in the wall? Like, you could have both finished side by side with him in the wall in between your car.
I think Sig knows he's coming up on his first Xfinity win. I don't, like you said, he's a car owner. As a car owner, I don't think he wanted to. Like you said, I don't think he wanted to wreck his car.
And I think a lot of people, I read a lot of comments on X, and they were talking about, way to go, Ryan Sieg, for running them clean. I would have wrecked him. Like, me personally, the more I think about it, I would have turned right, and I would have put his butt in the wall, and we would have both ran side by side. And if he beat me then, at least I knew I'd done everything I could to try to win that race.
I will say, would have been entertaining. I wouldn't have been mad if he wrecked him.
I mean, the Xfinity race to me was a good race.
I thought it was a great race, actually.
The Xfinity cars could actually pass.
Yeah, and drive up the track.
Yeah, it was still treacherous.
Right.
That speed bump's crazy they got in 3 and 4, but the Xfinity cars, it's like they have more give.
Yeah.
More travel, whatever you want to call it. The Cup cars, they get out of lane 1 and they're
in
the wall.
Yeah.
It felt like the Truck Series there for a little while in the Cup cars. So, John, can you believe not only did Chase Elliott break his 42-race win streak this weekend, he also gained his first top 5 and his first victory on a 1.5-mile oval in the next-gen car?
That's crazy to me. Like, when I saw that, I was like, really?
That's what I said.
His first top 5 on an oval?
I mean, I'm still kind of surprised by that. Like, I understand it being his first victory on a 1.5-mile track, but his first top 5?
Yeah.
Like, it blew my mind.
I don't know. I wish I could look at it now and look at how close he's been previously on the half mile or mile and a half.
6th. I mean, 6th place finishes does Chase Elliott have on a 1.5 mile track?
Yeah.
So does this mean Chase Elliott's back? Is he championship ready?
I hope so.
I do too.
I want to see Chase Elliott dominate again.
I mean, in my opinion, all is right in the NASCAR world when Golden Boy Chase Elliott wins a race.
It's, like we said, it's hard to root for Chase Elliott, but it's hard to root against him. I mean, we are from Georgia.
Yeah, he's
a local.
I want to be a diehard Chase Elliott fan so bad, just like I was a diehard Junior fan, but I can't. I mean, we even met this guy from Dawsonville. He's actually originally from southern West Virginia, but he lives in Dawsonville now. And I asked him if he was a Chase Elliott fan. He said the same thing. He says, I want to be. But to me, it's got to be his personality.
Yeah.
Or lack thereof a personality.
That's true.
Now, it was cool to see him pay homage to the late, great Alan Kowicki. He did the Polish victory lap at the end, who Alan Kowicki made that famous. I didn't realize this. I remember hearing this, but I don't know that I actually realized it so much. But Hooters has been considered a curse, the Hooters curse.
Really?
They had never won a race in the Cup Series since Alan Kowicki died.
Really?
Chase Elliott has never won a race in a Hooters car until yesterday.
Wow.
Or Sunday. So
Retired.
Yeah, he broke the curse. But I'll tell you one thing that kind of bothered me with the whole Chase Elliott thing was the last caution came out with like 8 or 9 laps to go.
Oh, man. Why?
Yeah, I mean, Kyle Larson spun out, barely hit anything. There's no track officials or workers on the track.
Nothing on the track.
NASCAR drugged that last caution out because Golden Boy was in the lead.
Right.
I truly believe that.
I'm not big on agreeing with all conspiracies, but no, I think they did. I think they wanted Chase to win it.
There's no way they didn't. Like it would.
Why have a caution run for 9 laps?
Yeah.
If there's nothing.
Why run it? Why run it to the end? Why run it to a green-white checker? Because all Chase had to do was lead 1 lap, get to that white flag, and then we'll have a caution. I was expecting a debris caution when they threw the white flag. I honestly thought we would get a caution in turn 1 on the last lap, like caution, debris somewhere in the parking lot. There's debris. We know it.
Bring the debris caution.
But we didn't need that because, well, as we'll get to in a minute, William Byron helped us out there. So, John, did the recent race at Texas Motor Speedway meet our expectations, or were we simply eager for a change after the disappointment of the last 2 short track races?
I think when you combine the last 2 short track races, which had absolutely nothing going for it, you put 16 cautions?
Yeah.
Yeah, you put 16 cautions in a race after Martinsville and Richmond. I think it's automatically just interesting.
Makes it entertaining.
It
So
does.
I think my expectations for Texas were already extremely low.
It would have been hard to disappoint.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about that. I was expecting to be disappointed.
Right. I think what I was trying to say, it would be hard to disappoint me further.
Correct. And it was exciting, but it was only exciting because of the flipping speed bump. And according to Denny, that's what you get when you repave on a budget. I mean, that's exactly what Denny said.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't say it in those exact words, but he said, when you do a repave and don't go all the way to the dirt, it's going to settle. There's a tunnel there. It's going to settle. That track was built in 1997.
Yep.
When they repaved Texas last, I don't remember the year, but it's been recent. They didn't go all the way to the dirt and fix the settling of the ground. Therefore, now they have a speed hump in turns 3 and 4.
And, I've heard a lot of people say, well, that's just character of the track. I don't think a racetrack should have a speed bump.
Yeah, I don't know that not being able to pass this car's hard enough to pass in as it is.
Yeah.
With the tires being everlasting gobstoppers and the cars being what they are with the lack of horsepower, it's hard to pass. So at Texas, they can't pass because when you get out of the inside line into the outside line and you hit that speed bump and your wheels aren't turned straight, you crash. But you can't turn your wheels straight in the corner.
Yeah.
This ain't the Xfinity Series.
No, and for that reason, even though it was an entertaining race with all the cautions and all the wrecks and stuff, that is why I say it was a bad race.
And that's why I voted yes and no. I voted yes because, man, after what we've had the last couple of weeks, at least we had some entertainment.
Right.
But I voted no because there wasn't no racing really.
Yeah.
You had some pit strategy. I mean, heck, you had enough pit strategy for Austin Dillon to finish 8th and Kyle Busch to finish 9th. These guys ran in the back of the pack all day. They didn't have 8th and 9th place cars.
No.
They had 30th and 31st place cars.
Yeah, but because they stayed out late, caution can't.
And they only took Ross Chastain stayed out late and only took 2 tires.
That's all you need with this tire. So
I mean, Ross never even finished the race. But
that's true.
But still, on the last lap, Ross was 3rd.
Right.
Before
he got spun out.
Ross was 3rd on the last lap before Ross got Chastained.
Yeah, exactly.
That's basically what happened. Chastain got Chastained.
Yep.
He got a dose of his own medication. So after what we saw at Texas, John, do you think that they should reconfigure it to be more like Atlanta, or maybe even possibly a 3/4 mile track like Jordan Bianchi suggested?
I don't think we make it a 3/4 mile. I don't think we need it, especially not with the car as it is right now. And we already have great short tracks, great 3/4 mile tracks. Like
Correct.
I don't think we need another one.
What about Atlanta? Should they make it more like Atlanta?
I think they should do something different. Like,
we're gonna do different than Atlanta. Put a loop-de-loop in it.
They need to do something.
Have a loop like a Hot Wheels loop on the back straightaway.
Oh yeah,
I mean, that would be cool.
Boosters, like speed boosters. Yeah.
I mean, that would be Texas-like.
It's always bigger in Texas.
Yeah. No, I think we need Atlanta. I think they do it just like Atlanta. Look, in this new car, short tracks suck.
Right.
In this new car, Daytona and Talladega are not as good as they used to be.
Yeah, I see where you're going. In this new car,
Atlanta's great.
That's true.
So why not make another great Atlanta track?
I can get behind it.
I mean, I would
see
go
where you're coming from.
If they turn Texas into an Atlanta 2.0, I would be willing to go to Fort Worth. I got a great friend of mine that lives in Weatherford, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
We could go stay at his house. I'm sure Papa Jim would let us stay at his house.
I'm sure he would.
Now, I don't know how Papa Jim, who works on Sunday, is going to feel about us coming to stay with him and missing his sermon on Sunday morning to go to the Cup race, but, I mean, we could work it out.
We'll watch it on the way there.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he got an early service. I'm sure we go to early service and then we dip out.
Yeah,
because I couldn't go stay in Weatherford and not go see Papa Jim preach. I mean,
right.
But yeah, I think we do it. I think they should start tomorrow. Just start. They go to the dirt, Marcus. It's okay. And if you're not done, we'll run on dirt there next time we get back. Who cares? At least it won't have a speed hump. And if it does, heck, we know it's there.
Yeah.
Make some jump. Do like the whoops on motocross.
Yeah.
Put whoops on the back stretch.
I'm sure that would be fun in the next gen.
Oh, Denny would love that. He'd be all over Marcus Smith. They might not even be friends anymore. If they are friends, I highly doubt it. But
yeah.
You never know. They might never speak again. So, question for you, John. Why does Jimmie Johnson, a 7-time champion, even get into this next-gen car, potentially tarnishing his legacy, especially for the new fans coming in who only see him as a backmarker driver?
And to answer your question, I don't know. He's been – I'm trying to think how many races he's ran in the next-gen car, but he's only part-time.
5 or 6. It's not a lot. I think he ran 3 last season and 2 this season.
Yeah, so he hasn't run very much in this car, which we all know this car is drastically different from any of the previous cars. And
I mean, Jimmy's average finish in the next-gen car is 31.9.
Which is
horrible.
It's terrible.
That's Rick Ware style.
I
mean, old school Rick Ware. That's Cody Ware.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, I like Jimmie Johnson. I mean, he's 7-time champion. He won the championship in just about every way you could imagine.
Yeah.
Like, when they were doing their whole, the chase and the
playoffs.
Yeah. They switched it up. So it didn't matter. He won.
Even the year we added Jeff Gordon.
Yeah.
Jeff Gordon Wary.
He still won the championship. I mean, Jimmie Johnson is a legendary NASCAR driver. And you hear, like Denny said it on his podcast, I think they talked about it on the Teardown. Jimmy's used to driving a an oversteer car.
Yeah.
He's used to it being loose. He likes a loose car. Well, with the size of the tire on the next gen car, you ain't.
No, it's hard to get loose.
You have to try.
You got to hit that speed bump.
Yeah, you got to hit the speed bump.
Which he did.
Mm-hmm.
And got loose. He was the first one to spin out on the speed bump in Sunday's race.
Yeah, which, I mean, in his defense, I guess, it didn't used to be there for him, so he was just testing out the waters for him, I guess. But
Door Bumper Clear said he's 7-time champion. He can do whatever the heck he wants to do. I agree with that.
Yes.
Jimmy Johnson can get in the car and do whatever he wants to do, but it is hard for me to watch 7-time run in the back, not be competitive.
Yeah.
I mean, his final year in Cup, he wasn't very competitive. Then he went to Indy and he wasn't competitive. Then he comes back to Cup.
He's definitely not competitive.
And he's not competitive. I mean, it reminds me of Darrell Waltrip and Richard Petty. I mean, it was sad watching those two in their final years in Cup have to use championship provisionals just to make the race.
Yeah.
And then they ran in the back, if not the first car out of the race.
Yeah.
And really my biggest problem with it is any new fan that comes into this sport in the last 2 or 3 years, all they know about Jimmy Johnson is he's a back marker driver.
Yeah, all they know is apparently he was just some big shot back in the day.
Apparently he used to be good because they're not going back probably and watching old races on YouTube.
Yeah.
They don't know that 7-time dominated.
Right.
Like you raced to finish second back in the day.
Yeah.
Because Jimmy was going to win.
Exactly.
Now his next race is at Dover, which is basically Jimmy Johnson Speedway.
Yeah.
But
bread and butter.
But I just don't think
it's going to be hard to watch Jimmy Johnson because, I mean, unless something crazy happens where he figures out how to drive this next gen car without spinning it out, he's not going to run well.
Yeah, I
don't want to see him run bad at his track.
Correct. I wish Jimmy would just focus on the ownership piece of it.
Yeah.
You know, just get out in front of the owner, be the owner, be Denny Hamlin, be the outspoken owner without being the driver who finishes in the back.
Right.
You know, now rumor is that Legacy's looking to add a third charter. And maybe Jimmy's trying to help get that team going in the 84 car, but he's not doing it for money.
Mm-mm. He doesn't need it.
So, he's doing it because he wants to do it, and he has every right to do it. I'm not saying he shouldn't do it. Well, I am saying he shouldn't do it, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. Like they said on the other shows, he's 7-time champion. He can do whatever he wants to do. Go for it. But I just think it's exactly what I said on this show with Jamie 2 years ago. I was worried about him coming in and tarnishing his legacy by being a backmarker team and not running competitively.
Yeah, because, now it's going to be, oh yeah, Jimmy Johnson was this great, dominant 7-time champion. Then he came back and kind of sucked.
Yeah, and it's just not what I want to see. I like Jimmy. Super nice guy. Very approachable, very likable, and now he's just Rick wearing it, and I don't like it.
Yep.
All right, John. Was that last lap collision between William Byron and Ross Chastain, the one that resulted in the caution or resulted in the end of the race, was that caused by Ross blocking William or William wrecking Ross?
I think the best way to put it is Chastain chastained himself.
Yeah.
I think he chastained himself.
Ross said he had no comment. No, and that's the typical Ross. I mean, we talk about Chase Elliott not having a personality. Ross Chastain won't even speak to you unless you're a watermelon farmer. I don't know if that's a Justin Marks thing where they're like, hey, you're not allowed to speak openly in public or what. I don't know the whole story behind it, but Ross, he won't go on podcasts. He won't go on shows. I mean, Ross is he is sliced bread and not even wheat. He's just sliced white bread, boring old white bread. I mean, I don't get it, but that was I agree. I think Chastain chastained himself.
Yep.
I think Ross Chastain threw a late block on William Byron. William Byron had a run, and he's in an HMS car, which means he's got more power.
Mm-hmm.
He had nowhere to go but through Ross. And that just unfortunately put Ross in the wall. I think that's 100% on Ross Chastain. I don't think that's on William Byron in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
It's one of them racing deals, really.
Yep.
Really.
That's racing.
Yeah, that's really all you can say about it is it's one of those racing things.
I mean, it's one of those things where if Chastain went for the block half a second sooner,
he'd have been all right.
Yeah.
But he Chastain is known to be a hard guy to pass.
Yeah.
And he's known for blocking.
So.
And he's known for throwing late blocks. This ain't the first time Chastain has Chastained himself into the wall for a late block.
Yeah.
But
not a big shocker.
No, I'm not
what
surprised.
We're trying to say.
Yeah, not at all. Zero surprise here. But I don't think you can put that on William Byron at all.
Yeah.
All right, to me it seems likely that the championship driver this year is going to emerge from either Joe Gibbs Racing or Hendricks Motorsports. Given Kyle Larson's won the last 3 consecutive poles and the fact that JGR and HMS have won all but one race this season,
yep,
it's pretty likely the champion comes out of that stable.
I mean, I don't know if this is what NASCAR's going for, but if they are,
it's parity.
Yeah, it's what we talked about last week. It's the parity, which I mean,
it is parity. That's 8 drivers they have to win.
Yeah, it's like if you are not betting on one of these 8 drivers, then you're doing something wrong.
Yeah, I mean, you got Denny who's either going to win or wreck.
Yep.
Kyle Larson's the most unpredictable guy to pick. I can't ever every time I pick Kyle Larson in my fantasy lineup, he either wins or finishes in the back.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, you can't string a whole race together. I don't get it. Like,
but man, when he does string a race together, he's fast.
We've had 9 races this season. 10 if you count the LA Coliseum race. Out of those races, Daniel Suarez is the only non-HMS JGR driver to win, and that was at Atlanta.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, we got Talladega this weekend, right? I'm imagining every other race team has it circled on their calendar like, okay, guys, we have a shot at beating HMS and JGR.
Because someone's going to wreck here.
But Denny Hamlin runs really good at restrictor plate or drafting style tracks, whatever you want to call them.
Yes.
Chase Elliott doesn't do bad there either. And we've seen Chase win at Talladega.
Yeah, we have.
So
what was that, 21?
Something like that. I'm bad with dates, man. I'm dyslexic. I'm lucky to remember my own birthday. But I mean, if you look at the top 6 in average finishes crazy. This season,
you have Truex leading, which shocked me.
9.9 is his average finishing spot.
Then Elliott and Byron, they're tied.
Tied at 10.3.
Well, Byron has 3 wins, 2 wins?
3.
He's 3 wins this season.
Chase has 1.
And they're tied. Then you have Ty Gibbs, 10.6. Then Larson at 11 and Hamlin at 13.
You know, honestly, Larson and Hamlin is because they go checkers or records.
Yeah.
Like, I really thought Hamlin was going to stink up the show and win the race this weekend over Chase.
Yeah.
I was waiting on it. And honestly, Denny should have just stayed in line. And he even said it.
Yeah, on his podcast, he said, I probably should have just taken second. But he said on his podcast, he's like, I wanted to win.
I mean, he's a competitor. I want to see him go for it. I'm sorry. I don't like points racing.
Yeah.
I mean, go for broke. You got 2 wins in the bag. You're way up there in the points. You know you're going to run good everywhere we go for the most part.
Yeah.
Go for broke, man.
Right.
But
like you said, he wanted that sticker.
Oh yeah, he definitely wanted that sticker. But I mean, I don't know that this is good for the sport. I mean, like points I said, racing? We're 9 races in and only 2 teams being the victors.
Oh.
I think Ford has 0.
Yeah.
Ford hasn't even won a duel. The duels at Daytona was won by Tyler Reddick and Christopher Bell. Tyler Reddick's a 2311 car who is tightly affiliated with Joe Gibbs.
Yep.
And Christopher Bell's a Gibbs driver. So even if you count the non-points races this year, they've been won by Gibbs and Hendricks.
Yeah, I mean, like we talked about the parity last week. We have it. We definitely have. You don't you don't see like you used to see back 10 years ago. You have out of nowhere a driver who doesn't win, who wins one race every couple years, come and win a race.
No, you don't.
And I don't think he will.
I don't think you will either, because I think the first year in this Xfinity, in the next gen car, year one, we had like 16 different winners.
Yeah.
And it's gotten less every year.
Yep.
And I think we're finally to that point where the guys with the most money, Hendricks and Gibbs, the cream rises to the top, right?
Yeah. And not to discredit the drivers at all.
No.
Larson, Byron, Elliott, Denny, Truex, all these guys, they're all great NASCAR drivers.
Yeah, but you have the money. Like,
right.
Those two teams can afford to have the best drivers. Not only do they have the best drivers, they got the best equipment.
Yeah.
Like, there's not a whole lot of tweaking that these teams can do to these cars to make them faster, but what little bit they can do, I guarantee you those two teams, not only have they figured it out, but they have the money to continue figuring it out.
Yeah.
Stewart-Haas, who?
Yeah, right.
Rumor is they're about to sell 2 charters. Who's that? You got Briscoe, Ryan Preece, Noah Gragson, Josh Berry. They sell 2 charters. That's 2 of those drivers go away.
Yeah.
I don't know who you keep. I think Briscoe hasn't set the world on fire.
Mm-mm.
Ryan Preece has been there a few years. He hasn't set the world on fire. Noah Gragson and Josh Berry are rookies.
Yeah.
Essentially. They're not doing bad.
No, but it's hard when you go into the race weekend and say, okay, well, these 8 drivers, someone's going to win. One of these 8 drivers are going to win.
Pretty much.
It's good. I'm trying to think. Is that good for marketing? Market these 8 drivers, push these 8 drivers, and then get new people to come in and be rooting for one of these 8 drivers, and then them have a good shot of seeing their favorite driver win? Is that your sales guy? No, that's horrible. If I'm selling JGR or HMS, yes, it's great to say, hey, we can win a race anytime we're on the track. Look at this. Yeah. Look at our rap sheet this year only. But as NASCAR?
No, it's horrible. Because and if you're not a fan of one of those 8, really 7, because you got Bowman.
It's true.
Bowman is, it's early in the season, but still, I think Bowman's been the back marker at HMS for a while.
Oh, yeah.
But Ally's not going, they're not going anywhere. So he's essentially got a ride until he loses a sponsor. And who else are you going to put in that car?
Right.
You really don't have, you got some up and comers. And, Connor Zilic is one I think of. He's going to probably run full time next year at JRM. I would not be surprised if he takes over backmarker JRM driver Brandon Jones's car. Jones finished 13th in the Xfinity race. Again, proving he can't finish in the top 5 3 times in 2 years. I could see Connor Zilic taking that ride.
I could too.
And then Josh Berry Alex Bowman better start worrying then.
Yeah.
Because Connor Zilic goes out and sets the world on fire.
In the Xfinity race, in the Xfinity series.
He'll be moving up before too long. Dale Jr. said he's a future Cup champion.
Yeah.
He's got to go somewhere. So right. Alex Bowman needs to.
And you already know Hendricks is going to be on that.
Oh, yeah. Rick's part owner of Junior Motorsports. So
yeah. You know Rick is already watching him right now.
Oh, no doubt. Rick helped. I guarantee you Rick had something to do with him being in a JRM car.
Probably.
Jeff Gordon, too. Jeff Gordon's known for finding good talent. Look at Jimmy Johnson.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's proof that Jeff knows what he's doing, not just behind the wheel, but behind the desk as well. So, apparently, over the weekend, NASCAR had a meeting with the drivers to let them know that they're working closely with Goodyear to fix the short track racing package. But they also let them know that horsepower is still off the table because they're trying to attract a new manufacturer. We've heard about this for years.
Yeah.
Since the idea of next gen car, we've heard about this new manufacturer that's yet to come about. My thing is,
why?
Yeah, Why do we have to dumb our sport down
Why do we have to make our cars slower?
to attract somebody new? Are we going to have a Prius out there? I mean, it's no secret. It's Honda. That's who
Yeah.
they want, Honda. I mean, I know a Civic will not drive through a river without flooding. We saw that while we were fishing.
Yeah.
Somebody tried to drive a Civic through a river during a flood
Yep.
because we had a lot of rain, and it didn't work out.
Nope.
She flooded that. That was Bebop's girlfriend. That's what started
True story.
That's what they started a fight over, I'm sure. But I don't understand. Like when Dodge came into NASCAR years ago, like the second time Dodge came in after leaving and coming back, when they came back, we didn't make our cars slower.
Right.
I mean, back then, those motors were significantly more powerful than they are now.
Yeah.
And Dodge wanted to say, yeah, I got a Hemi. That thing got a Hemi in it. What are you going to, is that got a VTEC? I mean,
Right.
how are we get excited about this? Like,
You're like, oh, another manufacturer that can make a subpar engine.
yeah, I mean, look, Honda, we know can make a fast engine.
Yeah.
They're in other series that have a lot more horsepower than NASCAR.
So why are we making our cars slower?
And it's obviously not working.
That's true.
They're not here. We're trying to attract something that's not attractable. I mean, I would love to see another manufacturer come in, but at what cost?
Right. Like we're gonna, are we really gonna like mess up 3, 4, 5, 6 years of racing? Are we gonna make however long it takes to attract this mysterious manufacturer that we're trying to attract
Obviously.
to come around before we start racing it again?
It seems that way. But if I'm a Honda executive
I
and
want to be in NASCAR.
yeah, and they're like, hey, come be in NASCAR. We drive slow. And I'm thinking, I want to build a car with some muscle.
Yeah.
I want to build a car that's cool, that's attractive, that's mean and aggressive. Not this. Right. Like you got a kit car basically you buy from Walmart and you put a Honda VTEC 4-cylinder motor in it. Like Honda can build a fast car.
Yeah. It makes no sense. Like it makes 0 sense.
Hey, if you work for Honda and you're listening to this show, let me know. Is this what y'all want? Obviously it's not because they're not there.
Yeah.
I mean, Honda hasn't joined. Maybe they want Tesla to join. But I think Elon could build a car with more horsepower and still have an electric car.
Yeah.
And probably make it last 3.5 hours and never have to pick. Because with the tires you got,
you don't have to worry about
you don't
tires.
have to stop for tires.
So,
I mean, even the tires at Texas.
I mean, he'd save time on fueling the car.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Everybody else would be like 7 laps down to the Tesla because his tires will literally last forever.
The Tesla runs the entire race. It'd be like that Cybertruck that wrecked and had no scratches.
Exactly.
It just run through
everybody else would have concussions and broken ribs, but that Cybertruck's still running. Been in 17 wrecks today, 300 horsepower. I am glad to hear that NASCAR is working diligently with Goodyear to fix this.
Yeah.
Like, we know a better tire produces better racing. We've seen it with their accident at Bristol.
And then the wet tires. Sprinkle tires.
And with them sprinkle tires, we've seen how that makes a difference. So we already know it's all there. We know the tires make a difference. I personally think you need a softer tire and more horsepower. Put it all in the driver's hands. Give the driver the control. But NASCAR, being NASCAR, thinks we need to have this little putt-putt car that run around track, not real fast.
And make sure, everyone has a fair chance.
They want everybody the same car, so you buy it off a pallet at Walmart, and they deliver it to you. And your right rear touches the wall, you bend a toe link.
Yeah.
I mean, it's annoying. The tires falling off annoy me. It's like, can't we
have tires falling off? Larson's tire fell off.
Yeah, and that annoys me. Like, I don't know why that annoys me so bad, but it's like, it's not racing. the crap we're dealt is not racing. It's tires falling off, barely tap your rear end on the wall, you break a toe link. We got speed bumps at at Texas. You got Talladega is not what Talladega. It's not what it used to be. It's a beautiful facility. Used to be phenomenal racing, but it's just not. It's not Atlanta.
No.
I mean, Atlanta's now your premier track. It went from being a snooze fest to the most exciting track on the circuit. They race at Atlanta. They wreck at Atlanta. Everything about Atlanta is exciting. I hope it stays that way, but if the next Atlanta race sucks, we're all going to be like, what happened?
Right. Is that just going to be the storyline this year? What happened?
Yeah, maybe. That's how we start each show. What happened?
Yeah.
Because I don't know what happened.
Because, you got Bristol. That's a what happened.
Yeah, nobody even knows how it happened.
Yeah, Richmond. No. Martinsville.
Nah.
No. Then you've got Texas. What happened?
What happened?
We know what happened.
Yeah, they had a speed bump. All right, that's all I got. What you got? Anything else?
Not much. I think we covered it all.
Me too. So next week we have Talladega. Races at 3 p.m. on Fox and MRN. It is a 2.5-mile drafting track. I've got a work thing next Tuesday I have to leave and go out of town for. So we're going to try to record the podcast on Monday next week. But if you have a weather app and you've looked at it for Talladega, Alabama, there's like a 99.9% chance of rain and a lot of rain on Sunday. If that happens and they run the race on Monday, I'll be back Wednesday. Maybe we'll be able to record Wednesday afternoon or Thursday morning or something. But we'll try to get a show out next week either way. I'm not going to make any promises because work kind of comes first.
Got to pay the bills.
Got to pay the bills. So I do want to say thank you to everybody who listens to the show each week. Everybody who watches us on YouTube, we greatly appreciate it. Everybody who shares our show on social media, who watches our shorts, our reels, and shares them, thank you. We do greatly appreciate that. On X, make sure you follow us there. We're at Car Backwards. Make sure if you're watching on YouTube or if you're just listening, you go to our YouTube channel, subscribe, check out all our videos. If you listen to us on Spotify, make sure you follow us and rate us on there. Subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts. Leave us a review like Brandon did. When you leave us a review, it helps other people find the show. So we greatly appreciate you leaving us a review on Apple Podcasts. If you feel the need or you just have a question, you can email us for racecarbackwardspod@gmail.com. I will respond to them. If there's something you want me to read on the show, email me. I'll read it on the show. Why not? And make sure you check out our merch store. It's racecarbackwards.threadless.com. And again, check out Designs by Sydney. She supports the show. We gladly support her. We consider her a friend. She does great work. She takes care of her customers. You're not going to want to go with anybody else. So that's all I got this week. You got anything else to say?
Nope.
All right, guys. Y'all have a great week, and we will see you after Talladega. Bye, everybody.